Welcome to a Fifth of Jack Gaming, where today we're going to be diving into the book of, well, it's part of the Engergon Universe. We'll just leave it at that. But if you happen to be wanting to pick up books from that, or if you happen to be shopping for some books, go over to organicpricebooks.com, use the discount code a Fifth of Jack, all spelled out, and you'll get $2 off. Or if you have four or more books, use the discount code Jacket Together and you'll get 5% off your entire order instead. Orders with $30 or more for shipping or get free. Orders of $30 or more will get free shipping, and it's bomb-proof shipping. So that nice, lovely double wall box is going to be nicely be able to protect your book to make sure that it gets to you in a great condition. Without further ado, let's switch on over and see what the book is that we're diving in onto. All right, like I said, we're going to be diving into the Engergon Universe with Duke. This is going to be a nice solid story by Joshua Williamson, Tom Riley, and Jody Belair. So if you don't know about the Engergon Universe, right now it includes 4 books and it has some more stuff that's going on. You end up having, obviously, Transformers, Void Rivals, Duke, and Global Commander. There's Scarlet, that's going to be a new one, and I think there's a couple other ones that's going to be added into this. This is something that Skybound or Image ends up having the entire rights to that, and they ended up put it in the entire Transformers line into each of the books. So, like it says here, caution, contents of the content is confidential. Duke, knowing is half the battle. So I believe the events that started all this is going to be found in Transformers. So read Transformers before you come over to this way. So from this point on forward, we're going to have a nice little voiceover, giving a nice synopsis of a story. And at the end, we'll go over for a quick review of how we think about the story and how it stacks up. All right. Duke is the go-to G.I. Joe guy. He's the captain. He's the leader of the entire group. So this story ends up reflecting that goes on with it, and the downward spiral that he ended up going to after having the unfortunate events of what happened with the Transformer that he ran into. Then he ends up deep diving and figuring out classified on his vacation that he ends up being forced to be able to take. He ends up butting up and joining back forces with other G.I. Joe figures that you end up seeing that's going to be in this story as well. It has a nice little surprise twist of a person that they end up adding over to their side. I would say a little baroness of a situation. Also, the story is a nice driven story that goes over with that, and it lets you add to the entire storyline of the Engergon Universe. The art does add to the story as well. Also, it's by Joshua Williamson, and I kind of know him as a Flash writer. It's a nice little story that he ends up having and progressively goes over with it and allows to add a little bit of a background sound to it. All right, so that's going to be a quick way that we go over. Let's switch our cams over to be able to give our final thoughts and how we think about the story so far. Oh, wait, there might be more. Oh, there's sneaky little things. And there's a nice shocking moment that follows along with this. And this has a highlight of what the different Engergon Universe books are. There's Void Rivals, Transformers, and Global Commander. Now we'll slide over and give you our thoughts about the book. Duke is a nice little salad, goes over with it. Has the ramification that came out of the story of the Transformers, where he ended up having a, what would you say, incident with a Transformer, but it was a Was it a good guy or a bad guy? Well, you have to read to be able to find out. But Duke ended up having a neat little story that came along with that after the fallout of that. I would honestly give this a nice 7 because I'm not a big G.I. Joe fan. And actually, to be completely honest, this is the first time I've read G.I. Joe, even though I've heard good things, especially with the Larry Hama and the compendium that's coming out. But I digress. We're going to come over and we'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a nice story, has some decent art, but it just doesn't hit it. What did you think about the story? Put it down in the comments down below. Also, like I said earlier, if you're shopping for a physical copy of this book or any other book, go visit organipricebooks.com. Use the code of the 5th of Jack to save $2 off. If you have 4 or more books, use the code Jacket Together to be able to save 5% off your entire order instead. Also, if you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever we come off new content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, we'll see you later.